This is how we deliver the benefit to our students, to the vets in your classes, to the seniors in your classes, to the, everybody who comes to your classes. How do we deliver the moving meditation? How do we deliver the healing? How do we deliver that beautiful, aha, I'm okay kind of moment? All right, listen, all other questions will have to wait because we've got to do stuff. All right, so I'm going to change cameras here and move into the other part of the studio. All right, so the topic, actually, I don't know if I'll have time for both topics, but the topic that is at the top of the list today is how to pass your practicum. Because at some point, even though you tell me that you know you're not that concerned, you're doing the whole study and get all of your worth out of it, I know that inside your brain you're thinking, what do I have to do to pass? So we're going to talk about that today. So within your curriculum, there are so many things that the things that we're really looking for in your final exam may get lost or may seem confusing. So I'm going to give you, it's a very short list. And it starts off at the top of the list with safety. All the things that we study about safety are the number one things that you are being graded or evaluated on. Boz the Wonder Dog here is chewing on his bites there, poor guy. Now I want to let you know that there are more things coming very soon to that module on safety protocols. We have a bunch of videos that should be there now from the VA about PTSD. And you should be watching those because those are some of the things that we'll be listening for, how you verbalize and how you pay attention. But there will be some additional lessons coming in that module quite soon, and so you want to pay attention to those. So that's the number one thing, is safety. The number two thing that we are looking for is the cueing method, the 5-part cueing method. Right? So there's a whole long module in there, and the purpose of all the other practices and the flow shows and everything else that we're requiring you to go to is so that you can practice specifically that cueing method. That's the second and most important thing that we're looking for. The third thing that we're looking for is what we call observation and assessment skills. Now, observation and assessment skills have a lot of parts and nuances and meanings to it. At this level of training, and what we're looking for in your practicum is a very minimal thing, which is, are you making eye contact with the camera? Right? We're assuming that you're using Zoom and that while you're doing your practicum, you're maybe doing it with some other people, and so you've got to be watching them. And even if there's not another person, if it's just Judy doing your practicum with you, you've got to be making eye contact with her because you have to practice. You have to practice getting out of your own zone, out of your own flow and bliss, or looking off, or you have to be looking. If you watch me during the Tuesday morning flow shows, and then you compare what I do to some of the movements in your videos about the basic repertoire, my posture is all completely off, right? You'll be seeing that, push and pull, right? So the eyes are technically supposed to go out there. I'm almost never looking like this. I'm looking here, looking at the camera because I'm watching you.
Hey, DDR, can you spotlight yourself? None of us can make it full screen.
Oh, sure. Okay. Let me see.
Hey, just trying to figure that out.
I thought I was the only one couldn't see.
Okay, well, hold on a second there. Da-da-da.
I've been watching Marcus work out.
Yeah.
Listen, he's a much more camera, favorable kind of guy. So that's not a problem there. All right, does that help? Can you guys see me now? Yeah. Okay. All right. So what I was saying was, if you watch me on the morning flow shows or when I teach class, I am constantly looking at the group, looking at the monitor so I can see you. And then it's kind of like an 80-20 split. 80% of my time I am watching you, and then 20% of the time I'm going back to model the actual posture and the direction of sight, and then I come back to watching you again, right? And so that's the third thing that we're looking for. So safety, cueing method, observation and assessment. And then the fourth thing that we're looking for is an understanding of the movements, of the repertoire, right? Now, I know, I'll be frank with you, I'll be really upfront with you. Judy is much more of a stickler on the perfection of the movements than I am. I want to say that. So if you hear from Judy that you've got to get these movements down and you've got to be better, listen to Judy, right? Because she is our education manager. And she's trying to help you be there. But in the final exam, in the practicum, if your movements are like still in learning mode, we're not going to fail you for that, because movement is something that it always takes a lifetime to learn and perfect and to evolve, right? That doesn't make a difference in the experience of your students, how masterful you are about Tai Chi. What makes a difference in the experience of your students, of your vets, is, are you watching for their safety? Are you cueing in such a way that gets them into a flow state? And are you paying attention? So those are the four things that we are looking for. Does that make sense? I'm going to take that as a yes. So let's practice. We're going to do one combo together today, and then I'm going to split you up into the breakout rooms for about 10 minutes to practice with one another, and then we're going to come back and we're going to maybe watch a couple of you who want to volunteer, and what happens when you don't volunteer. I volunteer you, just so you know. All right, so let's pick something simple, which is the basic cloud hand single whip snake creep down, not the full snake creeps down, just basically no footwork, okay? So feet about shoulder width apart. Give me a little of this, a little octopus. It's Saturday morning somewhere. And a sinking of the chi. Breathe in, gather in, breathe out. Ah. I got most of you on mute, but a few of you I still can hear you, so I want to hear some big breathing. Please, breathe in, big sigh here. Ah. Breathe in, breathe out. Yes. Yeah, those who turn into hacking coughs. I know what you did last night.
I've been sick for a week.
Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Now stay with me here as the hands will float up in front, rising into the air, floating up like a piece of driftwood on the ocean. Round out for a big hug. Inhale, expand, and then this hand falls like a leaf falling from a tree in the autumn. Drifts up to the other side, hands change. And then both of them float across the sky. And change again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lovely. Yeah. Change again. And drifting. Drifting and swaying. Right? The clouds changing shape. The breeze blowing them across. Breeze blowing you as well from horizon to horizon. Lovely. Inhale. Exhale as you drift across, and then stay with me as this hand makes a hook. And then another cloud. Open, 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 open. At the very end, my favorite part. Ah. Yes. And then release and let this fall. And 2 clouds across the sky. Oh, I'm going to do 2. You can do however many you want. I don't care. Breathe in. Breathe out. And this hand. Hook. And open, open, open. Ah. And then another one. Another one. And don't be shy with those sway, yeah? All the way back. All the way open. And the turns right into a fall and drift across. All right, stay with me here because the hook releases and goes right down and turns into a changing cloud, drifting across. Breathe in, breathe out, and there it is, the single whip, the single whipping, right? It's an action. It's a development, not a thing. A whipping, not a whip itself. Right? All right, now stay with me. Something coming. Reverse direction, up and over the top. And down and through. Lovely. The squirrel runs across the lawn. Kaz, can you say that?
Squirrel runs across the lawn.
Kaz.
Cat.
Kaz.
The squirrel runs across the lawn.
It's just my favorite thing to hear her say squirrel. One more time. All the way over and down. Bless your heart. Release that hook. Come on over here. Make a big hug right there and bring it back to the center. Expanding. Contracting. Ah, yes. And one last time, sinking the chi. Ah. Beautiful. So I'm going to put you guys together in couples, in pairs here in a second, in the breakout rooms. What will happen is the Zoom will automatically assign you to a breakout room, and then a little notice will pop up on your screen saying, you know, click here to go to breakout room such and such. I'm going to leave you in there for about 10 minutes to play with each other, and then we'll come back into the central room space and then watch a couple of you demonstrate. So right there, what I just did, this is what you need to pass the practicum, right? That was a demonstration I am watching. You see how much time I spend looking forward at the camera. What behind the camera here in my studio is the monitor where I can watch you guys. I can see everything you're doing. And I'm watching for a lot of things. I'm watching to see if you are doing something that is dangerous, that would hurt you, right? Now, I chose a combo this morning that doesn't have a whole lot of danger built into it, and we didn't get down low into the low posture, so you know that's kind of an easy part. But I have to watch because I don't know what could happen. You know, I could say, you know, make a bigger sway. I could be cueing that, and all of a sudden somebody's like, whoa, and so you know then I'll have to cue you to pull you back, something like that. Does that make sense? I'm using all 5 parts of the 5-part cueing, naming the movement, describing the movement mechanically, giving a multisensory cue of some sort, the breath, and then if necessary, I would do some additional safety cueing, kind of thing like that. Inside that 5-part cueing is a basic principle of the method here, and this is another one of those things to take notes on. So if you're there with your pencil and pen, take note on this. When you are teaching this method or instructing or leading in this method, you are constantly, perpetually, the whole time, have I said that enough ways? Asking yourself a single question. How is this affecting flow? So I make changes to the things that I say, the places that I look, the tempo of my movement, based on what I'm observing in you. And that's what you have to do with your group. That's the observation and assessment portion of it. Right? You're using that 5-part cueing, but then you're changing up those parts in some way as a response to what you are watching. And basically, depends on what the answer to your question is. How is this affecting flow? If it's like, it's doing well, then you keep doing it. On the other hand, it's like, nobody's in flow, oh, then you change it. Does that make sense? All right, I'm coming back in. I'm gonna queue up the breakout rooms and then go and play a bit. Let me start with any questions about anything that you just practiced or anything that we went through so far this morning. Questions? And you can, yeah, Lauren.
Can you hear me?
I can.
So this is the first one of your programs that I have attended online, and I noticed that these particular movements are required, but we can adjust them depending on our participants.
So
Correct?
let me ask you, are you coming into the training with a prior certification?
I have yes.
Okay.
I do. I have but I haven't completed my certification yet for what is required for TaijiFit for vets.
So the purpose of having people with a prior certification go through this training is to get everybody on the same page as far as teaching methodology, to understand, in particular, the safety guidelines and what it is that we mean when we say things like no teaching, right? So this is not what I would consider teaching. This is a different kind of cueing method, right?
Right.
So I'm making everybody go, and just for context, when we first launched the program back in May, I did not require people with prior training to do that. And I said, all you have to do is figure out how to make the adjustments. And we did some short trainings on that. And then it was just such a cluster, that I said, no, everybody's going to have to go through the training together. So we're all on the same page. Now, what you will be able to do if you want to, because we respect and support like a variety of different ways that Tai Chi is done, you can use your prior lineage, you can use your prior format inside the guidelines, inside the modifications. And this is an example of how those modifications might look.
Great.
Does that make sense? You are
Yes.
not required, if you have a prior certification, you are not required to use our repertoire.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
The safety, yeah.
Yeah.
The safety and the 5-part cueing and the observation and assessment needs are what is required for TaijiFit.
That is correct. Also, if you have a prior certification, you are not required to take the practicum. You are not required to take the final exam because, and we may have we got to be sure that you're in the right course, because we have a bunch of different courses which are basically identical, except that some of them are stripped out of certain modules. And so I want to make sure you're in the right course. You have to go through the training. You'll be evaluated by Judy or myself as you go along through the training. But then because you have the prior certificate, you don't. The exception to that is if you get in there and you choose, you say, but I want to be certified as a TaijiFit instructor. I like this.
Okay.
Then you do have to take the practicum.
Okay. And yeah,
So-
I need to rethink one thing before I ask my next question.
Okay.
So please go on.
Okay, got it. Yeah, Judy's got her hand raised, and oh, there you go. Yes.
I still see some people with some single names, and I don't want to look through everybody whose name is Kathy or John to figure out who was there, because they don't have pictures.
Yeah.
with,
Marcus, please don't put your name up as Kathy anymore.
there you go, see? David Dory and I also had another comment. We were talking about the requirements for the practicum. And since you're conducting this today, all of you who have already passed your final practicum, we're going to have to do it again so we can incorporate what he is putting out there this morning. So just be ready for a call to do a second final practicum. Thank you.
You will not have to do a second final practice. If you've already passed it, you know, it's like Judy's messing with you right now. Sue Carter, thank you for joining. It's good to see you. You just said that, yeah, hashtag Judy Bird. That's our new meme. That's our new TaijiFit meme. Okay. If you have passed the practicum, you're good to go. Don't panic. But I get asked like every week, like, what's in the practicum? What do I have to do? So that's why I wanted to go through this. Now, any other questions about what we did this morning?
I actually have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, but I can't see who you are. Is it Maria?
It's Stephanie.
No, Stephanie. Okay, hold on one second while I find you. Wave your hands, my dear.
So I was
There
in
we
the
go.
breakout room
Yes.
all by myself. Was I supposed to be in teaching? I was waiting for others to join. This is my first live time. I have no idea what I'm doing except for I just wish I had a concise video on how I may be able to learn some of the TaijiFit moves. I'm a TaijiFit, Tai Chi Easy instructor.
Sure. So have we sent you the link to Canvas?
I am on Canvas.
You're on Canvas. Okay.
So I don't see any video there. Like I've never seen a full flow other than what I've watched from you on YouTube.
I got to make sure that you're in the right Canvas. So because if you're in the full course, if you've got the link to the full course, then there's tons of video. There's so many videos that's why I don't like to record more video, because we have too many already.
I
But
don't see that in there.
yeah, let me this afternoon I'll jump in and find you in Canvas, and then I'll send you another email with the proper link. Yeah, and we do this every time. We just isolate the new people into a room by themselves. No, we don't. No, that's not true.
I'm good. I started like doing things. Were you watching me? Because I was like, dude, I'll pass some time with, were you watching me?
No, not this time. I might. I should just say yes so that you'll all be self-conscious about that. No, it turned out because Margaret was driving, so we couldn't let her jump into a breakout room while she's driving because she's a danger to public safety. Okay, so next time, let me answer a few more questions. So Heather's got her hand up over there. Yes. Hey, Heather.
So regarding what we just did, that was awesome. If we could do more breakouts, because I met Kathy from Rhode Island, and that was pretty neat. I wasn't able to demonstrate because I got up late, so I'm still in my t-shirt and Jones. But she did great, and it was a great way to meet other people.
It is a great way to meet up. And I'm glad you said that. It was one of the things I wanted to mention here. You have this capacity on your own. You can meet each other in between any of our sessions. Like, use Zoom, it's free. And you guys can just make arrangements to Zoom together and practice things. And yes, I do want to do more breakout sessions in groups and work this way, because it's a great way to then come back and ask questions, evaluate, debrief about what we've just done together. And I wish we had more time, but I want to let you guys go pretty quickly here. But we will have one next. Will we? No, I don't think we'll have one next Saturday because it's Thanksgiving weekend. unless I get a flood of requests saying, I'm not doing anything on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Let's have a session because I'll be here. So if you want to do one, let me know. Otherwise, every Saturday we'll do this, and there's so many people here today. It's wonderful to see so many folks here today. We'll just keep on doing this. All right, Ron had his hand up.
Hi, David.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Good.
Looks like you're doing good. So we're going to be going live here from information I last had in just a couple of weeks. So earlier you spoke about sending location and time information to Rosie, and I did send that email off for one of my locations, and I'm going to send another one shortly. So as you know, I've been at the Tai Chi thing for a while, and I've been going through the Canvas course and done the flow show, watched that a couple times, and shared that with some of the instructors at our school a couple times. And so I'm getting the feel for it, and I understand the process. Am I going to be good to go?
Yes. So in terms of the certification portion, so we have a checklist of the things that we have to have from you, and I think we've got everything else. So just really quickly, and you can ask more questions. Everybody, you guys can ask follow-up questions. So we need your tax ID number, your NPI number, your contract, your certification complete if you're doing the TaijiFit certification, your insurance, and your background check. Those are the 6 things that we need for you to be able to go live. If you're doing both, if you have a prior certification and you're doing TaijiFit, you are still good to go under the prior certification.
Right. Okay. Yeah, just wanted to make sure there was nothing else because it's hoop jumping is fun, but
yeah, right. I know. Cool. Let's see. Lauren remembered her second question. Yes.
Well, this one is a takeoff on Ron. So just to completely clarify, so if we have prior certification, it has to be for 150 hours, correct?
Depends on which. Oh, so you're coming to Tai Chi Easy. So
I took Qigong with Roger Yanka for 65 hours, and then the Tai Chi Easy for 25.
Okay,
so I don't have 150.
Got it. We are going to give you credit for the training that you're doing with TaijiFit. To be really, really clear to everybody. So I am sort of giving you guys a waiver for some of these hours, but the 150 hours is actually a requirement from the VA.
Right.
So we'll be checking in to make sure that everybody completes our training in a timely fashion. So for example, you could start teaching if your area goes live and you haven't finished the TaijiFit training and you have fewer than 150 hours. We'll say, yes, you can continue on the basis of you finishing your TaijiFit training in a timely fashion, which means like 90 days. If you don't complete it in 3 months, then you're just like, you're not serious. Okay. So that is a waiver. That's a call that I'm making. Don't tell the VA. Because again, it's an honor system. So we're assuming that you're in good faith, trying to move forward with your training. Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
This for me?
Oh, Lauren, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So the TaijiFit training for me, who has some prior certification, would be the list that you gave us for the practicum.
So
not necessarily that I have to complete the practicum.
You don't have to do the practicum. You have to go through all of the other modules. Right. So we've stripped out things like flow shows and tests and things like that, but almost everything else is still there. So you'll go through the same basic training as everybody.
And where do I access that?
It's another one. Like Stephanie, I need to jump in today and see if I can find you in Canvas. I'll send you an email. So Lauren, make sure that you're in the right place. I'll get that to you today.
Thank you.
You bet. Let's
Did
see.
you write all those names down?
Yes, I did. That.
Send emails to?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Very good.
Hi, Arlette. Oops, you're gonna have to turn your own mic on. There we go.
Yes. Okay, sorry about that. So I apologize if this question has been asked in the first half. I missed the entire first half, and I'm really upset about it. I know you don't like to.
I gave away the secrets to the universe in the first half, and if you weren't here, you know, lottery numbers, everything, first half.
No, I know that you don't like to. I know your reasons for not wanting to record these Saturday sessions, and I was wondering if you'd make an exception for this one, because I am really stressing about the practicum, and I think it would help.
Bless your heart. That was one of the announcements I did make. I am recording today, so we recorded. Every time we go into breakout rooms, the only thing that gets recorded is a blank screen. So I have to go in there and edit out some of this stuff before it gets uploaded to Canvas. But it will be on Canvas, and I'll send out an email to everybody telling you where you can find it. But so thanks, Arlette, and I want to, again, for many of you who are new, or maybe this is your first time doing a Saturday session with me, I want to give you some context so that it's really clear. I have resisted recording the Saturday sessions specifically until today, because everything that we do on Saturdays is already in your course. Like, I'm not giving you anything new, but every time I teach a class, new things come up, right? Every time I teach a class, I think of new things, or you ask really great questions and we can go over stuff. So, that's why I do the Saturday sessions, so that we can get a little bit deeper than what's already recorded. I felt that, sometimes there's just too much video for people to wade through, that it wasn't like, do we need another video? And that's why I haven't recorded them. But having said that, like so many of you asked me, like every week I get people saying what Arlette just says, please, could you record it? Could you make an exception? And so I want to let you know I'm listening to you. And I clearly hear that you would like to be able to watch these on a recorded session. So I'm recording them from now on.
Wow.
Bear in mind that you will not get credit for your continuing education or for your mentoring session modules if you watch the recording. You only get credit if you're here live, but you'll get the content, obviously, when you're watching the video. Okay, Judy is there, and then Madonna, I'll come back to you for a second.
What?
Judy, do you have your hand up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have something to say. Arlette. Okay. I tell people before the final practicum exactly what you need to know. You need to know the standing routine, the seated routine, and the basic concepts throughout the TaijiFit course, because I will ask questions and have you tell me. So that's what you need to do. Read the manual first is a helpful thing to do. And then watch the videos and practice. Practice. And then practice some more. And your final practicum will take you about 45 minutes. And then you collapse, we'll call the paramedics. Handle that, so you might consider an hour and a half with all the first aid and everything, okay?
Yeah. One of the things about doing these kinds of sessions on Saturday with using the breakout rooms is so that we can give everybody a chance to do the practice that Judy's talking about in a really comfortable, laid-back setting, and that we can come back and again, I'm really sorry I'm keeping you guys long, but these are great questions and I want to finish answering them, and ask questions about more than just technical stuff, but ask questions about the practice that we just did. So this is my intention, that on Saturday mornings we can get together, do the breakout rooms, come back, you know, talk about discoveries, breakdowns, all those kinds of things, because that's exactly the process of becoming a better teacher. Again, this is a fundamental principle, maybe the fundamental principle of the TaijiFit method. Again, noteworthy if you're taking notes. The fundamental principle of the method is we get best at what we practice most. We get best at what we practice most. I don't expect perfection in any way. But what we see as a best performance is a function of volume of rehearsal. And so I want to relate this to an end product. This is how we deliver the benefit to our students, to the vets in your classes, to the seniors in your classes, to the, everybody who comes to your classes. How do we deliver the moving meditation? How do we deliver the healing? How do we deliver that beautiful, aha, I'm okay kind of moment? I talked last week a little bit in some of my classes, in some of the webinars, about the methods about tricking people, about manipulating people. And what does that really mean? Like why do I say that? It's giving people candy. It's giving people such a wonderful time, such a good time, that they want to come back and do it again. That's the whole purpose behind the tricking and the manipulating. It's like, what it really means is that I want them to get to a moment where they stop thinking about what they're doing and just experiencing it. And then at the end of class, they go, God, that was really great. Of course I'm going to come back next week. Because they will get best at the meditation as a function of how many times they do it. And to get them to do it that many times, you have to give them chocolate. Does that make sense? Like that's how it works. You don't get the benefit to your students by doing a better class. You don't get the benefits to your students by having more perfect movements. None of that really matters at the end of the day. As much as we've been taught through the lineage and through the traditions that more perfect Tai Chi leads to more perfect results, that's in fact not true at all. The only thing that matters is that you keep on doing it again and again and again. And who would be stupid or crazy or ridiculous enough to do it that often? Only the people who are having such a good time with it. Does that make sense? So that's the method. That is the fundamental principle behind the TaijiFit method. We get best at what we practice most. We get worst at what we practice least. We practice most what gets best rewarded. That's the chocolate, right? That's the fun. That's the good time. That's the spiritual moment, right? Whatever it is that you deliver in your class, right? What we practice least creates a vulnerability and is a danger to the entire world. Those are the 4 parts of that fundamental principle of TaijiFit. Madame, thank you for being patient. I knew you had your hand up there.
I just realized it was late. I could probably ask Judy. When they're talking about the hours that we have in different certifications and stuff, and Verico, wherever, I tried to add others after I put in like the one of Dr. Lamb's certifications, and it just they wouldn't enter. So I don't know. Is there a fix on that? Or someone give me a clue on
No, actually, I hadn't thought about that. It's just a setup question. Could you shoot me an email reminding me of that, and then we'll assign that to somebody?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, Teresa says she has to run. I am so sorry for keeping you guys long. I'm going to draw this to a close for us for today. I want to just thank everybody for being here. Throughout the week, if you have additional questions, please go ahead and shoot them to us at the office. Listen, I want to make this comment because we got several emails this week. Where we are right now with the rollout of the Veterans Program, we are now dealing with well over 1,000 instructors, and golly, I don't know how many counties that we're doing. So it's just really busy. We try to get back to everybody within 24 hours, but if we don't, it's not because we don't love you or respect you or paying attention to you. It's just literally that the volume of stuff that we're doing, it means that it's taking longer. If you feel like you got lost in the shuffle, just send us another email and don't take it personally, because I do love you very, very much, and I really appreciate the fact that you're part of this whole program, and we're doing our best. If I don't see you before Thanksgiving, I'm going to be doing the Tuesday morning flow show, so I'll be one more class before the Turkey Day. But if I don't see you, I hope you have a wonderful day with friends, family, with spending time loving yourself. I'm grateful for you. I know I say all these schmoopy things. The weird thing for those of you who don't know me is that I actually feel this way. So I really am grateful for you, and I'll see you soon. All right, guys?
Neutral.
All right.
Thank you so much, David.
Thank you.
Take care.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.